Hello, everyone. Welcome to November's I-SPIE. Good to have you. We have a good amount of participants, and we have a pretty good agenda for you guys today. We have down low from the CEO. We're going to have a few announcements and holiday closure procedures with Chris Lee. And then we're going to have our borrower's backyard segment where Natalia is going to go over Rapido and Iliad Custom Holdings. And then we are going to have a cool, maybe surprise segment for you guys. And then we will go into the tectonic segment with the new I-SPIE website with Sarah Larson from Northridge. And then lastly, we will have the statistics station with Natalia doing the Rapido dashboard updates. So pretty good agenda, pretty full. So we'll go ahead and start with Chris.
Okay. Share my screen.
The down low from the CEO.
All right. Whoops. All right. So, hello, I-SPIE. I hope you are doing well. I just have a couple of things to update you all on. First, Thanksgiving is next week. I will be letting Unity know not to deliver anything on Thursday and Friday at any CSU. Many people are taking additional days off next week for travel, time to make goodies and prepare for the holiday, or to get some much deserved rest. If you need Unity to not come on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, please email me and I will let Unity know not to come on those days. And a few people have already emailed on that, and I've been making a list so I can send it all out for them. Now, speaking of Unity, I have a sudden announcement. I got a message from Unity and Skelp just 20-30 minutes ago, saying that Azusa Pacific is finally ready to go live on Unity. I'll make sure we get flip cards and access to backup sticker labels and let you all know when that is available, but we should have that pretty quick. Unfortunately, I believe Azusa is on to PASA like Pepperdine. But thankfully, Ex Libris and OCLC also just contacted me to say they are finally ready to test the ISO connection between Tapasa and Rapido. We will test this connection with Pepperdine, and then I will configure it at all the campuses so we can share with these two Unity partners in a locally managed hybrid pod. I will also reach out to the UCs to see if they would prefer to share through that avenue instead of the Alma peer-to-peer hybrid pod, and connect that way after they are done migrating to Tapasa. So some things coming up on that. I would also like to bring up round 2 of NERS enhancement voting for Rapido. Christina Hennessy sent out a message letting everyone know that only one item had a significant number of votes from the CSU in the last round of voting that made it to the second round. We will put all of the CO points behind that particular enhancement. Libraries with Illuna memberships of their own should vote as well on any items they deem worthy of voting for, even if it's put all your points behind the same thing as the Chancellor's Office. The enhancement that the CO points are going towards is enhancement number 8484, configuration option for mandatory fields in the Rapido request form. So basically you can say, hey, this field on the request form is required and you have to fill it out. So that's the down low from the CO. Now off to Natalia.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to be talking today about removing Rapido libraries from your Iliad custom holdings. So you may be wondering why you would want to do this. So by including Rapido libraries in your Iliad custom holdings, you are likely submitting requests to libraries that already rejected the same requests in Rapido. So my colleague Debbie Blair, she gave me this idea. She's our lender, and she said, we're getting a lot of lending requests from Rapido libraries for materials that are checked out. And I thought, oh, wow, I didn't even think about that. I need to update our custom holdings to remove Rapido libraries because it's just a waste of time if books are checked out and we're requesting those books through Iliad, since like Iliad, they don't have the same real-time availability capabilities that Rapido does, where they auto reject requests that are checked out. So I just thought I'd go over the steps that you need to take to do this. I've talked about Iliad custom holdings before, but it's, I have to remind myself every time I update our custom holdings, I have to remind myself how to do it again and remember. So the first step is you need to identify which pods your library belongs to. Then identify members of the pods you belong to, and then you have to look up the OCLC symbols of the pod members. And then to edit your custom holdings, you're going to go into World Share Configuration, and then you want to locate the custom holdings path you use for books and loans. And take note of the groups in the path, and then you'll go to your groups, and you can search for those OCLC symbols, and then lastly you will delete them from your custom holdings. So in case you don't remember which pods you belong to or are a member of, you can do this by going to, you can find this information out by going to the configuration menu, resource sharing, configuration, members, and then you'll click on the little ellipses to edit, and then physical item lending policies. Here you can see that San Marcos were part of the California State Network pod, the US West pod, and the West Coast Courier pod. And then Chris actually sent me this chart that he made. So if you want to take a quick look, you can see what pods you are in there. And so to identify pod members, there's a, I'll put this in the chat. Oh, I guess my copy paste didn't work. That was something else I copied and pasted. Oh my gosh, the web version of PowerPoint is not the best. Chris, do you think you could find that link and put it in the chat? My PowerPoint is frozen.
I'm looking for the link. Let me see if I can find it.
No rush.
In the presentation you shared the other day.
And this is just loading. This is the first time I've ever done it in the web version. Sorry about that. I could just demo it here. I'll go to World Share Configuration. So you can just search it, sign into OCLC services. Right, here's the link to that. You'll use your OCLC services account. But then you're going to want to look up the names in the policies directory. So you can find the symbols. So then once you're in the OCLC configuration, you will go to World Share ILL, and you can see your custom holdings paths. And then you're going to want to look for your books or your loans one. Ours is called books. And you can see we have a lot of groups. So you just take note of your groups, and then you can go to your groups to update the ones. So we have like Elvis 1, and then I just did a Control F for the symbols that and then you're just going to want to make sure you click here, delete, and then make sure that you save. Let me see if my PowerPoint loaded. Nope, it's still loading. But I think that's the gist of it. Does anyone have any questions?
Is anyone interested in maybe afterwards, Natalia, maybe you'd like to share it in case anyone wants to see the steps? I don't know if it has any like private
Yeah.
San Marcos info.
Yeah, I can, no, it doesn't have any
Okay,
private
cool.
information, but yeah, sorry about that. For my next presentation, I will download the PowerPoint.
So I receive a lot of things from other CSUs through Iliad that I guess went to them first.
Yeah, so yeah, if you're a CSU, you shouldn't be. When we went to CSU Plus years ago, we removed all the CSUs from our custom holdings. Because yeah, they're already going through Rapido first, so you don't really want to, you know, in Iliad you want to make sure you're not requesting from Rapido libraries, because those requests just sit until someone rejects them, and it's just a waste of time.
But if they're coming from them, then
But
you
you're
know.
filling them?
I was going to
No,
say
I'm
Chico State
saying
does the
I'm
same
receiving
thing.
them from, I'm borrowing them from, so they're going to CSUs that apparently they went through Rapido.
But they didn't lend it to you in Rapido, but they lent it to you in Iliad?
Was this probably when we had the no CSU partner? Like, could it have been during that time?
It was today.
I just got some
Oh.
today.
Yeah,
Oh.
Humboldt's received this as well.
Stanislaus also, I'm surprised this isn't a more brought up issue. It feels like things should be going to those CSU campuses first, but for some reason it's almost like an auto reject, and then we're getting Iliad requests. I get them from San Francisco, I get them from Long Beach, I get them from all sorts of campuses, and yeah, it's a very common thing.
So there's two reasons I've seen that this is happening. There could be additional, but these are the two main ones I've seen. Is one, so we all set up our holding settings at go live, but maybe a location or something was missed, and so anytime so they might not match what you have in OCLC. It would be really good to go look at your OCLs, not yours, your Rapido members area, and just make sure all of the locations are set up. We had a library the other day that when they moved and needed to add some new locations, that was why they weren't lending stuff in Rapido, is because those locations weren't there. This came up at the open forum this morning for tech services. So the tech services people know how to do that now as well. But it would be a good idea to look through those and make sure you don't have a missing location. So that could be part of it. The other reason is if some libraries have still have the Iliad links live, and what happens is there are some faculty and stuff who they just always used Iliad before, and they just are bypassing Rapido that way, going straight there and placing the request in Iliad, because without it ever touching Rapido, which is why I very much encourage everyone to get rid of the Iliad links so that stops happening. So
yeah, and I think you mentioned maybe doing a Rapido refreshers on the lending policies, because your policies really should be the same. You shouldn't be more permissive in Iliad than Rapido. Yeah, Debbie?
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that in lending, when I get stuff in the CSU, all that stuff is checked out through Rapido. Okay.
So it auto rejected.
So it looks like it's been auto rejected, but it's still coming through Iliad to the CSU. to us, to
Yeah, 'cause
HCSU.
I think our policies are the same.
And then I noticed that the list all has CSUs on the lending list. So
Oh, on the string.
on the string, on the lending string. So if you're on, I very rarely fill a book that I very rarely see a book that is not checked out already. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm rejecting 95% of these. Okay,
That are from CSUs and from other Rapido libraries.
right. I just wanted to clarify that for everybody. That's what's happening, and it's been happening since Rapido started. So
Are you talking about the automatic reject? Do you have that set up, or?
There's an automatic reject in Iliad if something's checked
Well, the
out?
real time, it's the OCLC real time
Oh, yeah.
check.
I mean, we do have it set up. We set it up. I don't think it works that well. We did set it up years ago. We were one of the
not working on
first.
books anyways.
I configured real-time availability for Z39 like a long time ago. But I don't think it ever really worked that great.
Yeah, I talked to it. We had that bug that I guess prevented it for a long time, but finally, I talked to an OCLC person. It was probably 2 years ago, and she said, "Yeah, you've got it, and it's working." But it doesn't always work.
But I think it has to be the borrower that has it. So like, or no, that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, I think it's the lending.
The
Yeah,
lender.
Yeah.
it has to be the lender. And it sounds like a lot of libraries have the same sort of, like, they have it configured the same way.
Well, I'm sure it works for articles in Iliad. I'm sure it works for articles because we have a 90% fill rate in Iliad for articles. So I'm sure it's working there.
Yeah, because that's off wrap. Well,
So I don't know. I don't know if it applies to articles.
well, because the CSUs aren't requesting articles from you through Iliad because it's all going through Rapid ILL.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, hopefully you guys will
Topic for
consider
another day.
consider updating your custom holdings. So at least you're not requesting from the CSUs. Since
And so we know, I think there for a while, Chris, wasn't there a problem where it wasn't hitting every university, but now it is. That's been fixed.
Yeah, that was fixed a while ago.
Because I also get things from other, University of Washington, University of Wyoming through Iliad, and I know they're in our pods.
I
Yeah.
think updating the custom holdings will help with this issue a lot. But and also I'll put in on the wiki some more instructions on how to go over your member location settings so that you make sure that catches everything. Just take a peek there and make sure it's up to date.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so we have a surprise segment that I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. This one we have yet to make a sound for. It's a new segment we're calling Famous Fictional Librarian. All right, so this month, who do you think the famous fictional librarian is going to be? If you have let's do a drum roll. Famous fictional librarian of this month is Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl. In the Silver Age comics, when Barbara Gordon was first appeared in January 19. I'm not seeing my note page. January 1967 in Detective Comics 359. She was the head of the Gotham City Library. She was the head librarian, Dr. Barbara Gordon. and she was a librarian by day, crime fighter by night, hero 24/7. The character has since been in later versions of the comic, has gotten a bit younger, but originally she was a librarian. All right, so that's the famous fictional librarian of this month.
That's so cool.
All right. And now I believe on to Sarah. Oh, but actually, I think
Yeah, I'm gonna share.
the video that Sarah made, because she makes awesome videos.
That looks so impressive.
Thank you. I will go ahead and share my screen. And I'll be showing you all the new I-SPIE website. We're still working on it, so it's not officially live. But can everyone see the screen? Awesome. So that video was more of a very quick run through of the site so far. The design is amazing. I'd like to give a special thanks to Jason Stanton, the webmaster and social media specialist, along with Barbara Sperling, who's the website project manager, both from the Chancellor's office, as well as the I-SPIE committee that's been led by Chris Lee, Melita, Rosemary, Melissa, and myself. We've all been able to come together and efficiently and effectively work with the Chancellor's office to get this site up and running. And this is what the homepage looks like. It's very brief and quick to the point, where we have the latest blog post, which is July 19th, and you can view all the recent posts on the right-hand side. And if you click all the posts, it'll look like this, like a blog, and you can go through it, and some of the information from the WordPress was transferred over, but it's still in process. So there are some some pages that won't have as much information. So yeah, it goes all the way back to February 2018, I believe all the way up to 2017. And it goes on and on. You can look through it or get excited to look through it in the future. And we'll go back to the homepage. In the header, we have the CSU logo. And if you click on that, it will redirect you to calstate.edu, which I think is nice, more official. And we have the abbreviation, Interlibrary Services Partner Information Exchange, just so you can say what it means if someone walks by and says, hey, what site is that? You could tell them it's the I-SPIE site. So these are the 4 main components. We have our conferences. So the latest isn't uploaded yet, but it's still in process. We'll be getting that up there. And then if we go back, we have the committees. The video briefly went through them. The pages are pretty small, but these will redirect you. Oh no, they will continue on. So I think this is really neat that we have all of this here and available on a Cal State site. And let me post the link for the contacts. If you haven't done so already, Chris sent out an email to ask for your campus's contact information to be updated if it isn't already. So I think I sent that in a direct message. Let's send that to everyone. So there you go. And on the header, we also have the about, I believe the same, the conferences, committees, resources, and I-SPIE TV. We're looking to get that updated, but right now it's blank. But I hope everyone is excited to look at this as much as we are. We have an analytics tab as well. Content will be uploaded there as well. But this is what the contact site looks like. I cut out everyone's information from the video just so it wasn't in the video. But we have all the campus information here. I feel like this will be a good spot for all the staff or resource sharing staff to be able to easily find other staff members, other people from other campuses. And let's see, we have under the resources, we have CSU Plus, Iliad. Let's see, policies. Is there anything anybody specifically wanted me to try to find? Or did anyone want to see something I didn't click on? We have all the different committees here.
Are all the recorded like Rapido and I-SPIE TV things?
Mm-hmm. I think that will be going to this I-SPIE TV tab where we'll have just everything will be updated after the TV segments. They will be posted here. And
Awesome.
oh, thank you for answering that, Chris, in the chat. But yes, I'm so excited about this. I hope everyone is as well. This has just been so nice to work on, and Jason has mainly worked on it, so it's amazing seeing what he's done. Yes, Christina.
Oh, this is amazing. You guys have done a great job with this. So going forward, who's going to be able to edit things on here? Is it anybody on that committee, or how does it work?
Yes, we have the committee members have access to edit things in the site or to add things. And I believe, yes, it'll just be those members.
Cool, good. I'm glad it doesn't have to be like a whole like request to someone somewhere.
Right.
This looks awesome. It looks so modern. There's no ads, but it looks super cool. It looks really creative.
Chris has a really good idea that for holidays, we'll try to edit the site to go along with those holidays when they're coming up. But yes, look forward to that. Look forward to updates from the committee, from Chris. We are excited. Yes. Chris.
I was wondering if you could show under contacts the contact form that will contact everyone on the committee well, not everyone on the committee, certain membership of I-SPIE, like the people in all the committees.
Right. So if you have any questions regarding anything, it's in the contacts page. We also have another contact location, but there's one here under contacts. So clicking that will take you to that form where you can fill out. And there is another section. It is on the about. So please feel free to contact us here. It'll also take you to the form. And that your answer or your questions will be directed to members from, I believe, Chris and our designated person from the I-SPIE committee, as well as, was there going to be one other person added to that?
Sorry, I was typing in the answering your question in the chat.
Oh no, you're fine. So these questions will be redirected to they'll be redirected to someone from the committee as well as yourself, right?
And I haven't asked them yet, but some people from other I-SPIE committees as well, so that questions So you can ask questions not just about the I-SPIE site, but about anything in I-SPIE. So I think it would be a good idea for at least one person from every committee to have a person on that mailing list, like the committee chair or something like that, if they have a chair.
And then from there, someone will be getting back to you. So this is a very nice site where you can view pretty much everything. Once it's live, we'll have more information in these tabs, and we are all looking forward to it. Thank you for posting the site. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to share it, but
I
was
don't know.
I mean, I'm sharing the screen anyway, so people can see the site. So thank you for having that. Feel free to take a look as well.
But yeah. When will it be going live?
All right, so by our, do we have a January I-SPIE? Okay, so by the January segment of I-SPIE TV,
We'll be able to dip in there. Cool.
and yes, thank you again to Chris and for everyone working on this. Melissa and I signed up at the I-SPIE conference, so we were excited. We weren't sure what it was going to be about, but we are glad that we have this as an end result.
No, we can tell you guys have been doing good work. It looks really cool. I'm excited once it's live to just play around and look in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks good.
No more weird ads.
no more ads, and thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Web Committee, for doing that. And yeah, thank you, Sarah, for the presentation. It looks really cool. I'll be on the lookout for that announcement of the live website. If anyone doesn't have any questions for Sarah about the new I-SPIE website, we can go ahead and move on to our next segment, which is going to be the Rapido dashboard updates with Natalia.
Fix this. It's been a while since we've done a statistics station. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about some updates to the Rapido dashboard. So basically the ULMS Assessment Analytics Committee discovered an enhancement that allows the network zone folder. So the reports in the network zone, we used to give logins to everyone, but since that's limited with the number of users that you can have log into the network zone, they've had to cut back on giving out those permissions. So this is really good news. Now you'll be able to access network zone reports from your institution zone. So that's what prompted this these updates to the dashboard. So now that we're linking directly to the dashboard located in the network zone folder, the updates will be automatic. So prior to this, Chris would have to update each report whenever we would need an update. He'd have to go into each institution zone and update the reports in the Rapido dashboard. So now you will all have automatic updates. So for example, when we join new pods, we have to update the report to include those pods for turnaround time. So that'll be automatically updated. And then also the reports have been better modified to run in your institution zone. So there's some tweaks that we made. For example, we have turnaround time separated out by month now, and then just the campus prompts were removed and things like that. So you should have a better experience running those reports. And as I mentioned, we adding columns for turnaround time for the new Rapido pods. So for example, Rapid R and West Coast Courier are newer pods. And then we have a new journal requests report as well. So Chris spent the last couple of days adding the dashboard as an object in your institution zone. So if you go to the analytics tab, you'll be able to see in Alma, you'll be able to see that new Rapido Analytics dashboard, and you can click on it there, and it should look a little bit nicer than the old one. And then I will just do a live demo here. So from your analytics, and then Chris, it's correct that you don't need an analytics, why is it role to view the object?
Correct. I went and updated the required role at I think all of the campuses, if I missed it, to patron. So as long as you have a patron role and are able to log into Alma, you should be able to access the report. We all have a patron role, so.
Cool. So yeah, if you just click on the analytics on the menu bar there on the left, and then it should be pinned, but you can also search for it. And so this is what it looks like, and there's a date prompt, so you can search different date ranges if you want to do that. So this is borrowing for loans, and then articles will be down here. San Marcos, we're not doing articles right now, but you'll see your articles down there and your loans up top. And then just a note that you know, the fewer Rapido pods you are in, the lower your Rapido fill rate will be. And then you have your lending tab. So, and document delivery for those who do document delivery. And most requested. So there's a journal report, but we're not doing articles right now in Rapido, so that's not populating for us, but you should see it there. Your most requested titles, you can sort the greatest, and then you can see which ones were unfilled, which is neat. The most unfilled. Lots of course reserves books for us that get unfilled. And then turnaround time. So this one, it's now separated out by month. So it's kind of cool because you can see, I know like December, we're always a lot slower since we take a week or two off. And then you could see the different pods, the turnaround time for the different pods. So you can see we're in 3 pods. There's the other pods over here, so we don't have those populated, but it's all there. And then I could show one other update that we did. So we did change, if you were at the I-SPIE conference. Oh, I can't actually edit through here. I have to go to the NZ. Oh yes, yeah, so you won't be able to actually edit the reports at all because they're in the network zone. I can show one report, the criteria for one report for the borrowing. If you were at the I-SPIE conference, you'll remember I talked about how we separate out requests filled by Rapido through the different partner names. So we would filter out the ILLiad partners, but we actually changed it. We found that you can get the same data by filtering by the profile type, which is actually ISO or NSIP. So I mentioned at the I-SPIE conference that it can be frustrating because people have different ILLiad partner names, and so you have to figure out all the ILLiad partner names before to filter out. And so, for example, Sacramento started using WorldShare as a lender of last resort, and that didn't, it wasn't calculating correctly because it wasn't in the filter. So now you could see in the formula that we're filtering by the profile type. So Rapido does ISO, Alma Resource Sharing does ISO, and the other ones do INSIP, but so WorldShare. So if you do switch to WorldShare of Lender of Last Resort, we won't have to update anything. It will know because it's INSIP, so it'll know it's a filled through OCLC. So it also, like you talked about, Tapasa now can be integrated in, so that should be those should be INSIP requests. Let's see. So Denise says she's not seeing the pinned dashboard.
I think what Chris said is it should fix that for her because I just pinned it and it's there. I had to search for it how he mentioned and then I was able to pin it.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
hopefully that works for Denise. If
Yeah,
not,
if you click on analytics objects and then you can search it and then pin it. Denise says, yeah, just search Rapido.
it's super cool. It'll make analytics much easier.
Yeah, and with the new, hopefully we can share some other reports. I know that shelf check report, but that one's, I don't think that will work because the call numbers, I don't think you can pull that. For some reason, only the lender has the call numbers in their data, but the borrower doesn't. So, but we'll explore other ways we can utilize the new enhancement to share reports. Any other questions?
Not a question, but I wanted to say thank you so much for all the work you've done on these reports. They had new data that wasn't available in the previous version of the report that I needed for the Rapido report I'm currently writing for Cold. So I was very happy not to have to make a report from scratch to figure all that stuff out because you had already provided it. So thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, and thanks to the ULMAS Analytics and Assessment Committee because it's just really good. It's been helpful just working on these things with them because there's a lot of expertise in that group, and I learn a lot of things from everyone else. So, and then just everyone just reviewed the dashboard, and so I think we've got it set, and we deleted outdated reports from the folder, and so hopefully we'll just have these reports will be like the base reports that folks can use to gather Rapido statistics.
Yeah, well, if your committee is not all on here, definitely share that gratitude because this is super helpful.
Yeah, we're working, we're organizing an open forum for next month, the ULMS Assessment and Analytics groups. So we're going to be talking more in depth about the Rapido dashboard and the accessing the network zone folder from your institution zone.
Does anybody have any questions for the statistics station that Natalia showed, the demonstration about the Rapido dashboard updates? Hopefully everyone's able to pin it. I did it just once she was done with her presentation. How Chris said, it's just Rapido Analytics dashboard. So hopefully everyone can pin it if they didn't already have it pinned.
Yeah, and in the network zone, it was called IZ, like Christina says, IZ Rapido dashboard, because you can also access the NZ Rapido dashboard. If you do have that analytics role, you can go into your catalog and your folders, and you will see the NZ one too, but it's just not as customized for running in your IZ.
And if you search Rapido Analytics dashboard and it still doesn't come up, please let me know. Maybe in my rush of trying to get it done, maybe I missed a campus or something. So let me know and I will get it set up to you ASAP.
Because you had to do it individually per campus, right?
For this first time, yes. But now they can just update the file in the form and it'll just update the object that already exists. So
Awesome.
used to be every single time an update, I'd have to
Yeah, so then
redo it
everything was really
everywhere.
outdated because like you, of course, you don't have time to
Yeah.
It takes a while.
continue. Like that's a lot of work.
Well, does anyone have any questions on any of the segments we went over today? Feel free to voice them or put them in the chat. In the meantime, while we're waiting to see if any questions pop up, thank you to everyone who had a demonstration and demonstrated something. It was a really good segment for our November I-SPIE.
And for December, we don't have it on the calendar yet, but it's looking like it will be December 14th.
Be on the lookout for the invite and the agenda items that we put on there. And then as always, if there's anything you guys would like to see, reach out to any of us on the committee, the I-SPIE TV committee. If you want us to demonstrate something, or if you have something you'd like to demonstrate, you're welcome to jump aboard and let us know.
Yep, you don't have to be on the committee to present. If that's everything, I suppose we could stop recording and
Yeah, I don't think we have any questions